keeper James Trafford 2 years after letting him leave the Etihad. Manchester City trying to scupper the plans for Newcastle United, who are said to have had a bid here for the Burnley keeper. Let me start with you here then, Shaka, because I want to talk to you about the jump from the Championship as a goalkeeper to the Premier League and how that is.
It's tough. It's tougher, I think, than many people think, or I would give it credit to. I think that especially for James Trafford, while he knows the Premier League and knows Premier League clubs and understands the pressure that comes with it, at 22 years old, making mistakes in the Championship is very different from making that exact same mistake, even with the same outcome, in the Premier League, just because of how that stage is set and the kind of focus that is on you. And it's a lot more difficult place to learn your trade. And while, from a Newcastle perspective, I still think between Pope and Dubravka, they have two very good goalkeepers. But as you look at Newcastle's roster, particularly as it pertains to those goalkeepers, I think Newcastle have either 4 or 5 goalkeepers, first-team goalkeepers on their books, all of them in their 30s. So they have to start looking for younger talent to bring in, because, again, while back in our day, they used to say goalkeepers peaked or started to peak in their 30s. Now you're seeing that number coming down significantly, and kind of given the number of games, the intensity to it, you just wonder about goalkeepers into their 30s, approaching mid-30s, how they stand up to those rigors. So you understand the interest in getting somebody younger, but you want someone who can understand and deal with the pressures of making mistakes, the pressures of succeeding somebody like Nick Pope in the Premier League, and that's not that easy.
Meanwhile, what does it mean for Ederson, Jules?
It means that they are looking for a way out for Ederson. We know that Galatasaray made an offer, a really low offer, €3 million for his transfer, which was never going to accept. That City were never going to accept. But this is the start, really, when clubs know that you're ready to let him go, that you're ready to negotiate. I think they want around the £10 million mark for Ederson, which is probably a fair value right now for him. And Trafford's 22 years old. There's not that many under 23 top goalkeepers right now playing week in and week out in Europe. There's Chevalier at Lille, who's probably on his way out. And there's Trafford'S. Joan Garcia went to Barcelona, and this is it. Those kind of profile of top goal scorer that young are rare. And whether we think he's going to adapt straight away or not, needs a bit more time at City, we will see. But he was the best goalkeeper by far in the Championship last season. He's very good. He's England under 21 international. So there's great potential. They know him really well. They formed him. So I don't think there's any doubt in their mind that he's the right guy for the job.
Keep up to date.
You know, Manchester City are expected to re-sign James Trafford from Burnley. Newcastle had agreed a fee for the goalkeeper, but City triggered a matching clause in Trafford's contract over the last 24 hours, leaving the Tyneside club powerless. City are set to pay £27 million for the 22-year-old, who they sold to Burnley for £14 million in 2023, which means this deal is effectively costing them £13 million. And the deal agreed with Burnley was worth around £31 million plus add-ons, but the price has been reduced for City due to a sell-on clause that they inserted in Trafford's contract. Trafford has agreed a 5-year contract plus an option for a further year, and he will compete with Ederson for the #1 shirt under Pep Guardiola. Trafford has been given permission to take a medical. Stefan Ortega is expected to leave the club, but nothing is close. Burnley have been interested in him, and City are understood to be pleased with an effective buyback option being fruitful for them for one of their academy players. And they may feel it's increasingly important to have that option when they sell.